Welcome everybody. So now that you have your handle made and you've got your cup that you want to add it to, I want to show you how to add on the handle. So in general, you either want a handle that's going to go from the top all the way to the bottom, or you want your handle on the bottom half. Because if you have it on the top half, as you drink your liquid, this side is going to get heavier and heavier. So if you have your handle down towards the bottom, it's easier. It's easier to lift the weight. It doesn't feel unbalanced. Whereas if you have it at the very top, it can make moving the heavier area kind of feel uncomfortable. So on this style of cup, I tend to like to do the bottom, and I kind of like to have more of an ear shape like this one, just to make sure that I can keep my fingers off of the mug. So once you've kind of figured out where you want it to be, and remember, you want to try to join it onto that your seam, because that'll help strengthen your seam, and it also gives you something to kind of make sure you're lined up. So once I've decided where it's going to go, I'm going to trace around where my pieces are going to get joined. I'm going to set this down, and notice I didn't undo the shape on that, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and score real good. Now, this is a little bit stiffer than my handle, so I'm going to add my magic water to the stiffer side. You always want to add the magic water to whichever side is slightly more dry. So I'm going to slip it like a dewdrop fairy. Okay, and then I'm going to set this to the side while I score this piece. So I don't want to change the shape. Like, I don't want to be flopping this around, because if I do, then I'm going to create weak spots in my handle, and it's going to get all cracky right here. And there's not really a good way to fix that. You just have to make a new handle. So now that I have it scored and I've added my magic water onto the side that was more stiff, which was my cup, I'm going to support from the inside, and I'm going to push the handle on while supporting from the inside. Okay, and I'm going to use my magic water that squeezed out with the clay boogies. I'm going to use that to smooth my handle onto my project. So remember, you're not adding extra water to this. Okay, now if you do have a little bit of cracking right here, that's okay, as long as we can fix it at the end if you need to. But if it's a real big crack, then you don't want to. You just want to make a new one. If you have a big gap up here, you can take a little teeny baby coil, and you can do the same thing down here. You can take a little teeny baby coil of clay and push that in there, and then just use a tool to blend it in. So you can either use your pencil tool and just kind of lightly push it like that, or you can use the back end of your small loop tool. But as long as you keep your tool clean, you can get it really nice and blend and smoothed right there. Now for the other side, and you'll notice I never at any point have put this down on the table. If I push on this on the table, that is not going to go well. It's going to squish. So at this point, I want to make sure that my handle is going straight. So mine was a little bit crooked from that first bit that I was doing. So I want to make sure that I've got it lined up. I'm going to put my fingers all the way to the bottom so I can squish with support underneath. And again, you want to see all those clay boogies come out, right? And if you need to add in the little baby coil in there, you can add the little baby coil in there. I'm going to add mine because I want to make sure that it's real nice and joined in. And if you do it right now while there's the magic water and the scoring is already on there, then you don't have to do extra scoring for this. You can just set it in there and push it in, and then just pull off any little extra bits, and you can just blend. So I tend to spin my tool, and that's how I blend with a tool. So I'm going to push this around like that, and then just kind of spin it. right. So at this point, like I said, if you have small cracking, you can just blend across it. If you have large cracking, then you want to make a different handle anyway. Okay. And then just check your shape and make sure that it seems like a shape that you want it to be. You don't want your handle to be crazy wet when you add this on, because you do want it to be able to hold its shape. If for some reason you do need to add it on while it's real wet, for time constraints or whatever, if you take a little extra chunk of clay and set it underneath the handle, it can help hold the handle in shape while you do it. All right, thanks everybody.